A very good evening and thank you so much for watching Uctv. My name is Nora Sende to bring you the bulletin this evening. It is Monday, the 20th of May 2024. Thank you so much for watching. We are starting off today with KCCA, the Kampala Capital City Authority that has summoned the Assistant Project Manager, Special Forces Command Construction Regiment, Lieutenant Engineer Chikomeko Chigongo, to appear before the City Executive Committee meeting to account for their duty of road maintenance in Kampala. While addressing journalists at his home in Wakiliga, the Lord Mayor, Elias Lukwago, says that since the directive, SFC has failed to do its work to the expectations of the authority, leaving many roads in bad condition in Kampala.
As you are absolutely aware, Special Forces Command was assigned the duty of road maintenance in Kampala following a presidential directive enshrined in the May 22nd, 2023 communication that was addressed to the Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Nabanja. However, the Office of the Lord Mayor, together with the City Executive Committee that is mandated to initiate all city development programs, monitor sector performance and report to Council under Section 11 and 14B of the KCC Act as amended, was not furnished with the details of how KCC was to work with SFC on the road repairs, the scope of work, contract sums, and above all, the terms and conditions of the contract. Subsection 3 of Section 4 of the Roads Act 2019, a copy of which I have here, confers onto KCCA, that is Kampala Capital City Authority, the status of a roads authority, and the functions of the Roads Authority are clearly stipulated under Section 5 of the Roads Act, which inter alia include A road authority is responsible for the development, maintenance, control, and management of public roads and the road reserves and facilities under its jurisdiction in accordance with this Act and any other applicable law. Subsection 2. Without limiting the generality of subsection 1, a roads authority shall develop public roads in accordance with its respective investment and physical development plans, prepare and implement road maintenance programs. It's on record that by the time of the aforesaid presidential directive, was issued, the Roads Authority and the Roads Committee had already crafted the work plan for road maintenance in accordance with the law, mapped out all the potholes in the 5 divisions of Kampala City, and started on the process of cutting, trimming, and shaping, as well as filling all the potholes, awaiting for the supply of asphalt as indicated in the table below. You recall at that time, our engineers were moving around cutting the potholes, shaping them, filling them with some what they call the first class maram, and we are just waiting for the supply of asphalt because we didn't have money from the road fund. And then General Museveni made a directive around that time, give KCCA 6 billion to fix potholes, and money was delivered. When money came, the SFC entered in. Then when the SFC came, they took over. By that time, this is the mapping we had done. The potholes we had identified. Kawempe Division had 3,585 square meters of potholes. Machindia Division, 60,063 square meters. So it's on the foregoing premise that the Office of the Lord Mayor has scheduled a special state executive meeting on Wednesday, 29th May at 10 a.m. at State Hall, purposely to receive a comprehensive report and full accountability of the operations of SFC in the city. You are hereby asked to appear before the State Executive Committee you remove it. You are hereby asked to appear before the City Executive Committee meeting and required to A, number 1, present the contracted documents with clearly defined terms and conditions. 2, the defined scope of work. 3, the performance report for the period covered so far. 4, provide accountability for the money so far received for road maintenance and sectional repairs. And lastly, any relevant information in connection thereto. Looking forward to your cooperation.
The National Empowerment Dialogue, NED, has lashed at legislators for passing the national budget of financial year 2024-2025 of 72 trillion shillings. Now, the budget was raised from 52 trillion of the financial year ending 2023-2024 to 72 trillion shillings, which shows an increment of 20 trillion shillings. Addressing the media at the party headquarters in Rubaga in Kampala, the party treasurer, Charles Basajja, revealed that the budget is not friendly to the ordinary Ugandans due to the new taxes levied on some essential goods such as fuel, water, construction material, among others.
Peculiar the way it manifested. We also want to make it relevant to the ordinary Ugandan, to make it clear what it means, as it is going to be very, very, very impactful in the coming month after it has been approved in June and years thereafter. Because make no mistake about it, every time you see something that is happening haphazardly in Parliament, especially at such a time as this when we are heading straight into the 2026 elections, you, the ordinary Ugandan, me, the ordinary Ugandan, we have to take a keen interest in what is happening, because it's all about finances. Now, you want to recognize that the national budget, the one which is coming in, hit 72 trillion, right from 52 trillion, the previous one. The coming one has hit 72 trillion. That is an increment of 20 trillion. And this is because there was a core agenda which was sneaked in at midnight. A core agenda, this means a mistake, an error in document in the process of preparing the budget. A mistake which was done was corrected at midnight, and that made it shoot 72 trillion from 52 trillion. So, from 58. So, please do understand that today as we speak, the national budget, this is both local and international, is hitting 100 trillion. In and of itself, the national budget itself, the national debt itself, 100 trillion, requires every Ugandan to be paying 2.5 million Ugandan shillings. Now, do understand that the current president today is spending 1.5 million per minute on himself. But Ugandans, each one needs to be paying 2.5 trillion to address the 100 trillion that the country owes. Now, also understand that this increase in budget came as a result of that mistake, as a result of a discrepancy which happened in broad daylight. I'm going to be talking about that later on, but you want to recognize that the current expenditure today, that is in salaries and payments to contractors and what have you, is at 18.9 trillion. I'm saying all this to say this one thing. Ugandans must brace themselves for the hardships that are coming as a result of this current budget that's coming in, 2024-2025 national budget. We have to recognize that this increment to 72, its only sole purpose was to broaden the 3% of the discretionary budget which is given by law, unfortunately, to the president, Mr. Museveni. The way the discretionary budget operates is that it's given to the president to spend as he so wishes. Now, the 72 trillion today was passed to allow for the increase of the size of the amount of money which is going to be given to the president. Whether it has been realized or not, he's entitled to the 3%, which shoots all the way to almost 2 trillion, 2.6 trillion. Now, understand that this is the money that Mr. Museveni uses without having to ask for approval from Parliament. He's only required to account if he feels like so after spending. This is the money Mr. Museveni gives to his friends, the ones he calls the foreign investors. People like Pineti, people like Sudiri, all those expenses that he wakes up one day and that is the money he uses, 2 trillion. Now that 3% just enlarged because the budget was taken to 72 trillion.
Now, in an effort to bridge the 2024 National Population and Housing Census inadequacies created by initial challenges, the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, commonly known as UBOS, has confirmed the extension of the enumeration exercise for 6 more days. This has been declared by the Executive Director of UBOS, Godfrey Nabango, while addressing journalists at the police headquarters today in Naguru. Since independence, Uganda has been carrying out the National Population Census with the primary objective of seeking demographic and socioeconomic data which streamlines planning, decision-making, and appropriate resources allocation. According to Nabongo, the 6th exercise has been running for the last 10 days, has so far covered 98% of the whole country, given that 11 million households have already been enumerated. It is on this ground that he commended the enumerators' commitment towards the success of the exercise.
And I think we commend them, we commend the supervisors, and I'll even tell you, these have been so innovative. Some areas where they could not get the respondents early in the day, they would move as a team up to about 9 p.m. and enumerate. Many of you may not be aware. So this is the level of commitment the teams have.
In a bid to cover up the gap initially caused by the login frustrations and other challenges that delayed the commencement of the exercise, UBOS resolved to extend the enumeration deadline from the 19th to the 25th of this month without any supplementary pay, in addition to the amount previously agreed upon in the 10 days enumeration working contract.
This period, as we mop up, it is not a new and fresh assignment. It is a continuation of the assignment that was given to the local governments and to the UBOS staff who are now enumerators and supervisors to complete the job that was started. So it's not a fresh assignment, it is simply allowing everybody to complete the job that they undertook to start from the beginning.
He concluded by appealing to all members of the public whose households haven't been enumerated to engage their local leader so that they do not miss out during the 6 days waiver period.
Greater Kampala is one of them. We have areas in Karamoja like Karenga, Kabong, Amdat. This one started late. A number of urban areas started late. And even within some districts, some sub-counties started late. So all these collectively are the reason this waiver has been given. But having said that, all the other local governments would use this same opportunity, this window of the waiver, to continue and complete the mop-up exercise. So ideally, everybody takes advantage in as much as it was given on account of those who started late.
Report compiled by Joseph Kabale for UCTV News. Now, still in our news, the Criminal Investigations Directorate, CID, has announced a 10 million cash reward to any member of the public who can provide CID with information that can lead to the arrest of the Chambogo University lecturer who allegedly defiled a visually impaired student. Now, this has been disclosed by the police spokesperson, Freddie Nanga, while addressing the weekly press conference inaugural in Kampala.
The 56-year-old Lawrence Aaron is a senior lecturer at Chambogo University who is being accused of defiling a 16-year-old visually impaired student during a period when he was the dean of the Faculty of Special Needs and Rehabilitation. According to Enanga, the suspect has since disappeared, which prompted the Criminal Investigation Department to announce a 10 million cash reward for any member of the public with information that can assist in his arrest.
The Directorate of CID has come up with another policy reward of Uganda shillings 10 million for wanted university lecturer who, in the alleged aggravated defilement of a 16-year-old disabled victim. Just because the suspect is still at large, on the run and in hiding, it is against that background that the Directorate of CID continues to appeal to whoever has credible information that may lead to the arrest of Dr. Aaron Lawrence, aged 56, whose photograph has been shared. You shall get a larger.
In the same vein, Enanga issued a warning to anyone who may attempt to harbor or aid the escape of the suspect that they are inviting a severe legal punishment once implicated.
We want to warn anyone who will be found harboring or anyone who could have aided his escape that it is an offense that is punishable by law. They will be arrested and charged with harboring or aiding the escape of a wanted suspect. And we will never stop pursuing the suspect. We have directed sufficient resources towards towards establishing his location. We will find him and we will bring him to justice.
On the other hand, he advised the National Unity Platform Party leadership to refrain from proceeding with its forthcoming countrywide tour because of the standing suspension which was previously issued by police last year.
You remember very well that we released a statement sometime last year suspending the NUP consultative and mobilization activities after several breaches of the guidelines that police had issued to them. The breach of these guidelines, of course, led to public incidents of public disorder, traffic disruptions and delays, loss of business, malicious damage to property, dangerous driving that caused death and injuries, among others. So, like indicated in that press statement we issued, the suspension of these mobilization activities continues until when the NUP leadership complies with the police guidelines and continue to be law-abiding. We are aware that they have come up with a schedule that has not been shared with us, where they have vowed to defiantly continue with their consultative mobilization tours. But they must be aware that under the Police Act, Section 32(1), the police have a duty to police public meetings in a proportionate manner. We also have a duty under the Constitution to maintain peace and order.
As he wished the Christian pilgrims a successful undertaking, he reminded them of the safety tips they have to consider to ensure a peaceful pilgrimage.
As always, we've continued to instruct our commanders to ensure the safety and security of pilgrims while walking through their regions and districts. They must escort them and provide protection to them while resting at churches. Others have been resting at schools and community centers. We restricted all movements under the cover of darkness at night and the wee hours of the morning and we've encouraged them to stay within their groups, carry warm clothes, have their IDs, mobile phones and chargers, light bags, reflectors, ensure they have transport money to transport them back. It is also important for them as territorial commanders to identify those who cannot endure the journey, especially the elderly, for medical attention. We have the police ambulances deployed along all major highways for medical evacuation and emergency response.
Joseph Kabale, UCTV News.
The Uganda People's Defense Forces will conduct a general recruitment exercise of 9,627. According to the defense spokesperson, Brigadier General Felix Kulaije, recruitment will commence on the 1st to the 14th of July 2024, covering the regions of the Central, the West Nile, the Northern, Bukedi region, and the Western regions simultaneously.
I've been receiving calls day and night, by the way, including Sundays, as when we are going to recruit. Number two, there have been unscrupulous individuals going around. Either they send out some social media claim, UPDF is recruiting, or that has been hogwash. Now this is the time. The UPDF will conduct a general recruitment exercise of 9,627 regular forces into infantry force or forces. This will commence on the 1st of July 2024 and we end on the 14th of July 2024, meaning it will last 2 weeks. The procedure of this recruitment exercise shall be as follows. 1. Aspiring candidates applying to join the regular force will get recommendations from LC1, 2, 3, the GISO, Gombola Internal Security Officer, and the DISO. Thereafter, they will submit the application forms to the office of the RDC, where they will be registered and awaiting collection by the UPDF collection teams that will submit them to the office of the Joint Staff Human Resource Management, which will cause a short list. Quotas. The quotas for potential recruits are computed by the proportion of the population of each city/district of Uganda based on the updated population as of 25th June 2023 by UBOS. The regular force recruitment 23-24 will be conducted throughout the entire country, covering 135 districts and 11 cities. Now the zones will be given by General Alex. The details now of what is required, the zones where it will be done, the dates are going to be given by General Alex Olupot. The aspiring recruits shall be recommended, as I've said, by DISOs and GISOs and LOCs. The exercise shall last 56 days. I'm talking about the entire process which General Alex is going to give you up to the 14th of July. Selection criteria. Eligible candidates are to meet the following requirements. A. They must be citizens of Uganda, and they must be in possession of the original national identity card. Original national identity card. B. Must be fit and ready to undergo medical and body fitness tests.
Today is the day we are beginning to run adverts on media, and that's why you are here. And these adverts to attract the potential candidates is going to run for 14 days. And so the potential candidates are expected to respond to this advert, in which case they will write applications through the LOC ones up to DISO as already stated. Now, these application forms should be readily submitted to the office of the RDC beginning 27th May to 2nd of June. All applicants should have submitted the applications to the office of the resident district commissioner in every district. After 2nd, we shall have teams representing the Uganda People's Defense Force that will be collecting the forms from the offices of the RDC and delivering to our headquarters for purposes of scrutinizing and the subsequent shortlisting. And this is going to happen between 3rd to 6th of June 2024. Once the applications have reached us at the headquarters, we shall have to confirm those applications and we'll have to conduct the sorting.
The Directorate of Traffic and Road Safety has issued new guidelines which will ensure safety of pilgrims while participating in the popular long-distance trekking to Namgongo Holy Shrines ahead of the forthcoming Martyrs' Day celebrations. The guidelines were announced by Michael Kananura, the spokesperson of the Directorate of Traffic, during today's media briefing.
Last week, about 700 foot pilgrims of Nebi Catholic Diocese were flagged off to embark on a long-distance walk to Namgongo ahead of this year's Martyrs' Day celebrations. As an effort to mitigate the spate of road accidents that befall foot pilgrims while on their way to Namgongo, the Directorate of Traffic and Road Safety has tasked its traffic commanders in their respective areas of assignments to ensure the safety of pilgrims, as Mike Kananura expounds.
We encourage the pilgrims to move in groups or teams for easy monitoring, and these groups will be led by the traffic officers who will be handing them over to the next traffic officers in their areas of command. So every team, every group will be led by the traffic officer in that area where they operate from until when they hand them over to the next traffic officers. We also lead them like that until when they arrive.
In the same vein, Kananura highlighted on the most crucial safety precautions that must be considered to enable them to have safe holy processions.
These groups are also encouraged to keep left side of the road, to use a footpath if there is one, and then persons wearing bright or light colored clothing, preferably a high visibility jacket with reflective strips, should be positioned at the front and the back of the groups to watch out for traffic. We also encourage well-wishers, if they are to assist these people, let them donate to them or give them reflective jackets to enable them to be visible to motorists, especially in the night.
He went ahead and revealed the renewal of operations against errant motorists, with an objective of enhancing discipline amongst road users.
And operations on the following are going to be conducted. 1, operations among border borders, especially all those border borders without reflective jackets and all those border borders without crash helmets. So as passengers also who use these motorcycles, it is important for you to know and understand which motorcycle are you picking to use. So for motorcycles without most of these things that are required by the law, please don't take such border borders. all those without valid driving licenses, those driving out of classes, and those with expired licenses are also going to be arrested. So don't risk to drive on the road when you know that your permit falls in one of the categories that I have just mentioned. And we shall not continue to remind you, because every driver on the road is aware. Before you get to the steering to drive your car, it's important for you to know whether your permit or your license is valid or not before you get to the road. So it is something that you should be checking every day because you drive daily. Operations on illegal silence, roof rights, modified lights, and violation of one-way rules will also continue. Operations on speed will also continue.
Joseph Kabale, UCTV News.
Well, it's now time for Today in History. Well, thank you so much for watching UCTV News. Let's take a quick break. When we return, don't miss the Rome Reports.
UCTV, good news for all.
Catch incredible stories of resilience, success.
You can manage that money
with a topping of inspiration.
Get interested in people, not interested in yourself.
Inspire, achieve, repeat.
You are watching UCTV, good news for all. For this and more, tune in to Kasese Get Radio 100.5 in Western Region, located at the hill of the Diocese of Kasese. KGR brings you all Catholic programs and an advertising platform in all our radio shows like Good Morning Renzori, Chama Towoka, Ukute, the business show, Propeller, the request show and sports, Evaluation, Bahinga Bakuluka, Late Night Show, and many others. Our other services include Isuzu Tipa, a no car, public address system, live band, Omokekera, an audio recording studio, and outside live broadcast. For more information, call 0773-597-166 or visit our website www.kasesegatradio.com. Kasesegat Radio, Omusondoria, the voice of truth.
UCTV, good news for all.
And in our Uganda Matters Futures tonight, we bring you the story of St. Denis Sebugwabo.
St. Denis Sebugwabo Waswa. He was a Muganda of the Edible Rat clan, born at Chugulova in Bulemezi County. His father was Kajansi and his mother Nsoga, a Musoga. His parents migrated to Bunono in Busiro County. Sebugwabo served as a page in King Mwanga's palace. He was a talented and devoted Christian with a melodious voice. Denis fought hard against the shameful sexual plays he was induced to by King Mwanga. This quickened his martyrdom. Sebugwabo was zealous, devoted to his work, and though young, a very strong Catholic. Dennis Sebugwao was the first victim of King Mwanga's rage in the evening of the 25th May 1886. He was severely scourged by the king himself. Sebugwao was killed the following morning at Munyonyo on the 26th May 1886 at the age of 16. Dennis was zealous for Christian faith and renowned for his modesty. Saint Denis Sebugwao is the patron of singers, musicians, and choirs.
Well, on that future marks the end of our bulletin this evening. Thank you so much for staying with us. I am Nora Sende. Do have yourself a good night.